Hey YouTube, welcome to the Subprime to Prime YouTube channel. Here, our focus is to get you from subprime to prime, and that all starts with knowing where we want to go on our financial journey. This channel is for information and educational purposes only, and is not intended to be financial or legal advice. Alright, let's get into it. In this video, we're going to talk about auto loans. Alright, now we know that auto loans can be a convenient way to finance the purchase of a car, because not all of us have just $20, $30, $40,000 lying around to get a car, and so we finance so that we can have a actual budget for that particular vehicle, an installment of a price that we pay every month, and of course we automate it and pay it on time, as I always say. But there are some pitfalls to getting an auto loan. Now, I'm going to discuss quite a few that you need to look out for when you're trying to get your car. Now, typically, if you go to a dealership to get an auto loan, you're going to go through financing through them, and they are going to basically beat your credit the hell up by spitballing your information out there to see if you can qualify through a bazillion banks, which technically, if within a certain period of time, I believe it's up to 30 days, all of the inquiries they do in your credit report counts as one. But oh my gosh, it looks so crazy when you have like 7, 12, 15 different inquiries on your credit report, because these guys are trying to get you financed. And that too can sometimes be an indicator that, hey, they are not being able to get you really favorable financing terms. And sometimes it's definitely so they can find you a financing company and then add their little however much percent on top of that, giving you a horrific interest rate. So that's the first thing we're going to discuss: high interest rates. When you come to a deal, let me just put this out there off cuff. Come to a car dealership with your own financing. And if you're a member of credit unions such as Navy Fed, which if you're not a member of Navy Fed, you can only become a member by having a military affiliation, be an immediate relative, i.e. a parent, child, sibling, or something of that nature, or be a roommate to a Navy Fed member. Those are the main ways to get in, and I'm sure out there you can kind of find out what other ways that are applicable to you. And also PenFed is open to all across the country, and they also do really great auto loans, and I will probably mention those in subsequent videos. But just putting that out there, that those are two places where you can go get financing before you go to the dealership. Okay, now high interest rates. They offer, some of the worst interest rates in the world when it comes to financing a car, and the overall cost is usually more than double what you're planning on paying for that car. The second thing, the loan terms are sometimes excruciatingly long. If you're gonna need to pay for a car for more than 36 months, you should rethink the car, because it may not be within your budget. You're gonna pay a ton of interest the further out you make your auto loan, and depending on where you are at financially, you may not want to do that. So you're also going to incur some negative equity. When you buy a car, it is not an asset at all unless you are using the car for a business or some kind of side hustle like that, where you're going to actually profit from the car, and that would take care of the payments to the car. That's a totally different beast altogether. But typically you're going to incur negative equity, because the car is worth less as soon as you drive it off the lot. Overextending your budget. if you can't afford to make the payments on a more expensive car, really rethink getting that car in the first place, because it potentially will put you in a financial bind. Especially at the moment you can't make that payment, they are coming for you. Well, your car. And then you want to look out for any kind of prepayment penalties. Sometimes they like to tack that into the fine print on the contract of the vehicle you're purchasing. So that's something you definitely want to read the fine print and look for. Dealership add-ons. Oh my gosh, like they're gonna try to get you all kinds of different add-ons, like gap insurance, rust prevention. They figure out ways to make all kinds of sticky little fees, you know, and you got to think, how is that my responsibility? Destination fee? I mean, I don't have you don't have anything to do with any of that, but they surely will charge you for just about anything. Okay, so one thing I want you to keep in mind is not to ignore the total cost of ownership. Like, sometimes people don't realize that when you own a car, especially if it's used, I would definitely try and stick to certified pre-owned if you're going to get a used car. And if you're going for a new car, just get one that is in your budget. That budget is everything when you're talking about your financial journey. It is everything. And, you're going to want to make sure that whatever vehicle you're going to pick up, you're going to be able to handle the interest rate and those monthly payments. Now, if you're living your life month to month, like basically paycheck to paycheck, it is something that's going to pinch extremely hard if it gets tight. So, like I said, you want to get a car that you can actually afford. And then, don't skip out on researching the car you want. You are going to shop for a car that you and your family needs. You're not shopping for them. So don't let the salesperson come and try to put you in a vehicle that just is not for you, because they are for sure going to try to. They have no scruples in that scenario, because remember, they got to eat and get paid, and that's what they're trying to do. Whenever they walk up to you when you are going car shopping, they're trying to feed themselves and their family. And keep that in mind when you're shopping. And not reading the fine print. Oh my gosh, definitely read the fine print. As a matter of fact, you get usually a 3-day window to return the car if you're, for any reason. And then keep in mind, don't drive it too far, because they charge you 25 cents per mile or more sometimes, because you did drive it while you're on your 3-day checking it out period. And there's other places where you can buy a car, such as Carvana, but in recent years they've had some issues with regards to title exchanges, and sometimes their warranties don't cover major mechanical issues or electrical issues in the vehicle. So really beware of those types of scenarios. And if you're buying from a private seller, that's another one you really have to be leery about. So overall, financing a car without having a plan or an emergency fund in case things go left is a recipe for disaster. And you just want to make sure that you are doing what's in your budget when you are going out to purchase a vehicle. And for more tips on all things finance, come on over to our free platform on School, Subprime to Prime, to get more information on all things financial literacy. Thank you. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.